Hey guys, and welcome to my video. I'm here in the gun room, just getting ready for a stalk. We're going to an area where there's been a lot of tree planting recently, so we want to be protecting those young trees. They've got the basic tree guards, but obviously deer, if they want to, can get into those young saplings and take the young shoots. And so we'll be looking for a young buck today, preferably. I know there's a big one in the area, but I'd rather not take him because I'd rather leave him for the to keep the other ones out. So we'll be aiming to take a younger one around them. If not, we'll look for an appropriate one to take. It may well be we end up taking one of the larger ones, but we'd rather have one for the cull, so that's the one we'll be looking for. Should be going to an area where there's a lot of tree planting, as I said. There's a big V valley, it's very easy to stalk in, small fields, but also lots of places for deer to hide. So we're going out relatively late because they tend to sort of break out quite late down the southwest. And obviously the morning stalking down here is much better, but I also involves getting up early in the morning, which I mean I love, but it's not conducive every day. Whereas it's much more sociable to stalk in the evening. Anyway, so we'll be heading out, stalking around, looking for what we can find, and going from there. Basically, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the video of the helicopter shooting. There's been a bit of questions around, why you use helicopters in New Zealand. In New Zealand, there is huge forests everywhere. And there's dense, huge, expansive, vast areas of wilderness, basically impenetrable on foot. Unless you're going out for sort of 2-3 days, it's really not going to work for foot patrols. So the best way to go in there is with shooting out the side of the helicopter, because you can get right in the middle of into the forests, into the impenetrable areas within seconds, basically, and you're straight on the deer, and you can take out quite a few of them and really cull them and get the cull done. Hard, as opposed to just going in ones and twos, and then afterwards they come in with a special cage and they pick up all the venison and then sell it on. So, but also deer in New Zealand are actually an alien species. All mammals are an alien species in New Zealand, apart from a rat. It's the only native mammal, believe it or not. It's to the country. Everything else has actually been introduced by humans for hunting or farming or so on and so forth. So the New Zealand government want them all shot out, which also involves a great big cull. A lot of people like this and that in the UK are in the same boat. They don't believe that certain deer should be here. Muntjac, I am in the majority. I don't think they should be here either. Chinese water deer, they should not be here. They're alien species. We don't have them down here, thank God, and we won't have any muntjac down here either, thank God. Some people have seen them down south, but I haven't seen any around here. So roe deer, red deer, crack on. They're existing native species and they should remain here. But other things, they need to be extinguished and taken out of the area because they are invasive and they cause really quite serious damage to forestry. Different areas have different beliefs on what they should do with deer. So the Forestry Commission will probably tell you in Scotland they literally will go into a vast area and shoot as many deer as they possibly can. A lot of the time at night, which is actually illegal unless you have a special license, which these guys do. And I don't really agree with that either. I think it's it's a bit of a shame because they're a lot of the time underreporting how many they're shooting. So it can be a bit of a grey area, but we can only do what we do down here: responsibly shoot, responsibly cull, and take out only the deer that need to be taken out. Leave the healthy ones and leave the ones that are a credit to the population, which we'll be doing this evening. So I hope you enjoy the video. Hopefully we can get hold of a buck for you. If you have any questions in the comments, if you have any thoughts about the what I said about the various cull plans around the country and around the world, and let me know what you'd like to see next. If, of course, I can only do so much in quarantine, but I'm giving it my best. So enjoy the video and let me know what you think. We spot a couple a long way off. Not sure whether they were a doe or a buck from the distance, so we move in to get a closer look.
It's important to keep track of the wind when you're stalking, as it can change in a second, and deer use their smell more than any other sense. Wind in face is a good thing. You smell the deer can't smell you.
Okay, didn't get anything, and we're going to fast forward now to the next stalk. Yeah, we're going somewhere slightly different, but similar sort of vein. Same area, tree planting, so we've got to protect those young trees. We're looking for a young, preferably cullbuck, but we'll take what we can find. It's right on the border, so you know they're chopping between our ground and our neighbour's ground. So we will we'll do the best endeavour to take the right buck if we see one. But slightly different, a bit more woodland. We'll be in. So slightly more close quarters, if you like, but looking forward to it. So here we are in the area I was talking about. As you can see behind us, we've got fresh tree planting, and you can hear we've got a road behind us as well. So two hazards whereby deer need to be managed effectively. Road traffic collisions, obviously. The stalking of deer in the UK every year prevents around 75,000 extra deer collisions a year. That's how many there are in the UK currently. Cars, that's basically when a car hits a deer. And they're not very small animals, so you can imagine the damage is not, if you haven't seen one before, the damage is never very good to both the occupants and obviously the car itself, and then of course the deer. So that's number one, and obviously then number two is protecting these young trees. You can see we've got young Christmas trees growing here, and then that's up against the left, and then inside we've got mixed broadleaf, which circles right the way around here, but we'll have a little look what we can see, and hopefully we can clear up one of the young bucks.
We saw a telltale flash of a bobbing deer as we moved through this plantation to our left. We decided to follow after it, even though the wind wasn't ideal. A sight of it confirmed it was a roe doe and a roe buck. We moved in to see if we could work out whether it was a buck worth taking and removing from the population.
Down there, but as you can see, I haven't got a safe shot. Behind the red bucket, just to the right, there he is. Broadside shot, perfectly presented. And move on it. I can shoot. It's a doe. Right in the middle of the plantation, see? Well, that wasn't, it was a buck we were following, so I think there's still maybe a buck up there. Unfortunately there, we had a shot on that buck. I don't know where
he's gone, but the doe came back this way, as you just saw. But the trouble is, with using iPad rifles, many of you may know, but still for those who don't, the bullet doesn't stop when it hits the target. You can carry on going with lethal force for miles. And that was on a browse, so it didn't have a safe backstop behind the animal, so therefore couldn't take the shot. Always better safe than sorry when you're stalking.
We spot a better buck in a field a short distance away as he goes through the gate on the brow.
Just walking through the gate now, see him?
Yeah.
Let's go get him.
This shot isn't safe, so I wait a short while as he's walking towards us as he gets inside the gateway with the safety of the bank behind it. A quick whistle at him and he stops broadside.
Gun's jammed. He's down. Right, so the gun jammed after that, hence why I didn't reload properly. You can see the springs come out of the bolt. Not pretty worrying, but I waited then. He was on the brow. You can see I had to wait, and he walked towards us. He saw us and he wasn't quite sure we were. It's getting closer and closer to them thinking about females, so he could have thought we were another, he could have thought we were another male. So I moved in, stood here, we stood, waited, and I mounted on him and waited until he got inside underneath the hedge there. As soon as he stepped inside the hedge, safe backstop of the bank behind, I took him. He ran a short distance and dropped about 20 yards away. Health-wise, he's not in the best of nick, but that's what this time of year is for. They'll fatten up now for the ruts, which is in July, August, and they will get ready for mating season then. This guy's he's not a tremendous buck, you know, probably a good one to take. I've got much better ones in the area, which I keep a very firm eye on. Almost want to put a ring in their ears, but yeah, no, this is the sort of a guy I want to take. Might have seen him once before, like I said, I think I missed him before, annoyingly, but got him this time. His you look at his teeth, they're pretty well worn, so he's relatively old. And that's the thing. That's what also the way you tell with deer is the fact that deer especially will grind their teeth right down to the point of basically they can't actually eat anymore, and they'll die of starvation because they simply can't process the food anymore. So it's always good to get the older ones before they turn. I think this guy's probably right on the edge of the turn, but a good one to take and a successful stalk. So yeah, it's a good stalk. Got right up to him and came to us in the end, right beside the eucalyptus plantation. As you can see, the farmer's just done first cut here, so this is all very, very fresh. This will go straight into silage. This guy will be all over it, as well as the other deer in here, but it's nice to have got my first half decent buck of the season. So yeah,